The night Princess Shivangi was born, enemies attacked the palace. Chaos erupted all around. The palace, which had once been a symbol of peace and grandeur, was now surrounded by screams, the clash of swords, and flames. When the news reached the Maharaja, he immediately set out for the palace. Concern was clearly visible on his face. But by the time he arrived, it was too late. Almost everyone in the palace had died. Silence hung in the air, and amidst that silence, the horrifying shadow of death could be felt. Goddess Saraswati had managed to hide her newborn daughter in a safe place with great difficulty. She tried to protect her daughter until her last breath, but she could not save herself from the enemies and died. Now, in that palace, only a tiny newborn baby, Saraswati's loyal maid, and her friend were left alive. When the Maharaja was seen entering the palace, the maid stepped forward with the baby in her arms. The Maharaja looked at her, and then his gaze fell on the tiny newborn baby. The baby was crying. He then slowly approached Saraswati. She lay exhausted on the ground. Blood was flowing from her chest. Her eyes had closed forever. She was dead. The Maharaja stared at her for a few moments. There was no expression on his face, but the pain hidden in the depths of his eyes could be felt. Just then, the sound of the baby crying was heard again. The Maharaja's gaze shifted in that direction. The maid respectfully bowed her head and said, "Maharaja, this is Goddess Saraswati's daughter. She was born today." The Maharaja glanced at the baby and then, looking at the maid, said, "From today, you will take care of her, and she will stay here." His voice was cold and emotionless. After that, the Maharaja picked up Saraswati's lifeless body in his arms and left. The maid watched him leave for a few moments. Then her gaze fell on the innocent baby. The baby was crying continuously. The maid tried to soothe her, but tears began to flow from her eyes. A deep pity welled up in her heart for that baby. Today, she had lost her mother, and her father didn't even consider it necessary to look at her. After a while, some servants and maidservants arrived. They had been sent by the Maharaja. They began to clean the palace. Broken items were removed. Bloodstains were wiped away. And slowly it began to seem as if no horrific incident had ever occurred there. After some time, everything was cleaned up. Meanwhile, the Maharaja buried Goddess Saraswati with full respect and ceremony in a large rose garden. He stood in front of her grave for a long time. Then he bid her a final farewell in a soft voice. After that, time began to move forward at its own pace. Saraswati's maid began to take care of Princess Shivangi. She loved her just like her own daughter. She never let her feel that her mother was no longer in this world. Slowly, time passed. Shivangi was now growing up. But in all these years, the Maharaja neither came to meet the princess, nor did he ever inquire about her. Yes, from time to time, he would send some money, clothes, and other necessities, which fulfilled Shivangi's needs. But love, that was never received. Shivangi was now 5 years old. Every morning, she would wake up with enthusiasm, get ready nicely, and go to her father's office, where he worked all day. She would stand in front of him with a smile and say, "Good morning, father." But whenever Princess Shivangi came there, the Maharaja would just glance at her and tell her to leave. Every time. Without any change, without any smile, without any affection. The little princess did many things to attract her father's attention. Sometimes she would draw pictures for him, sometimes she would bring flowers, and sometimes she would wait for hours. But it was of no use. All her efforts were in vain. Finally, one day, she decided to do something that might catch her father's attention. She decided to jump down the stairs. The stairs were quite high. In the next moment, her tiny body tumbled down the stairs. She was seriously injured. When she opened her eyes in the hospital, the first thing she did was look towards the door. She thought her father would be sitting beside her, holding her hand, worrying about her. But that was not the case. Only the maid was present in the room. Seeing this, the sparkle in Shivangi's eyes faded. She felt disappointed. But she did not give up. To win her father's love, Princess Shivangi made every possible effort. To please him, she learned music. She learned dance. She learned sword fighting. She learned the art of war. She learned strategy. And at such a young age, she learned everything that takes people years to master. Her spiritual power also reached a high level. She became proficient in using spiritual powers as well. She learned everything with complete dedication, discipline, and devotion. She believed that one day her father would look at her with pride. One day, when she would become worthy enough. Time passed, and before she knew it, Princess Shivangi's 12th birthday arrived. The entire palace was beautifully decorated. There were sparkling lights on the walls. Every corner of the palace was filled with a festive atmosphere. In the evening, all the guests were present for the princess's birthday celebration. The princess was very happy, because this was the time when perhaps she could receive a little love and attention from her father. But then, something happened that changed everything. A man and a girl entered through the main door of the palace. They approached the Maharaja and made a claim that left the entire palace stunned. They stated that the girl was the Maharaja's daughter. Hearing this, both the Maharaja and everyone present were shocked and astonished. But when everyone looked at the girl, no one could completely deny it. Her golden hair, her blue eyes, the structure of her face, everything resembled the Maharaja. The girl stepped forward. She respectfully bowed her head and smiled, saying, "I am very happy to meet you, father." After this, the Maharaja immediately ordered an investigation. The inquiry lasted for several days, and eventually the results came out. It was proven that she was indeed the Maharaja's daughter. After that, the Maharaja accepted her. Now, people across the kingdom began to know her as Princess Priya. In just a few days, Princess Priya won everyone's heart. She appeared extremely sweet, humble, and innocent. Her smile attracted people towards her. Gradually, she made a place in the hearts of almost everyone in the palace. She too would go to the Maharaja's office every morning to say good morning. But her ways were different. She would personally make tea and breakfast for him. Initially, the Maharaja did not accept this, but Princess Priya did not give up. She continued to bring tea and breakfast for him every day. And eventually, the Maharaja accepted the breakfast and tea prepared by her. Seeing this, the people of the palace were even more impressed. Now, gradually, all the servants, maidservants, and staff began to compare Princess Shivangi and Princess Priya. According to them, Princess Shivangi did not talk much to anyone. She always kept to herself. She would tell everyone to follow the rules. She did not quickly make friends with anyone. She always behaved like a stern princess, just like her father. People began to feel that she looked down on others. On the other hand, how sweet and kind Princess Priya was. She treated everyone well. She spoke lovingly to everyone. She was always ready to help anyone. Gradually, these things began to spread throughout the palace. Some people even started saying that Princess Priya looked like a true princess. When Princess Shivangi learned about this, she did not pay much attention to it. She thought it best to spend her time on her daily routine, studies, meditation, and martial arts practice. But was Princess Priya really as innocent as she appeared? Or was there a face hidden behind her smile that no one had seen yet? Was it just a coincidence that she suddenly appeared in the palace? Or was there a deep and dangerous secret behind it? Why did Shivangi pick up her sword one night and go to the palace roof to see her shadow in the moonlight? What resolution was in her eyes at that time? And what had she learned that was hidden from everyone else? How would she now find answers to her questions? And when the truth comes to light, would the entire palace be able to accept her? Or was the beginning of a terrible storm about to unfold with that truth?